Okay, so now please focus here. Again, I would be explaining. So in last class, I have given rough explanation to all of you. You people can write down heading, the re-explanation, because some of you are still having doubts. So let me just clear it once, okay? And then I will explain it again with respect to my own dictations and notes. Now, what we are going to understand here, emergence of life on earth. ओके हम क्या समझ रहे हैं? टेल मी. एमर्जेंस ऑफ लाइफ ऑन अर्थ. Okay, we are interested to know about life's origin because we know that humans have not evolved like this, and it was a basic question in our head. As I said that in biological anthropology, we are going to know everything related to biology of humans. To understand how do we look like today, we need to go back in previous theories. We need to know how we have evolved. So the first question is originate. How did we got origin, right? So origin of life is the question which we have to understand. Now this first paragraph, if you read here, it is only talking about that how universe were there and the formation of life on the earth, right? Now I'm explaining this particular part. Okay, so in 18th century we have come to know that because of the powerful telescope, okay, Edwin Hubble, he discovered and he gave two important facts that universe is expanding, okay, and there are lot many Milky Ways. And then we have got the Big Bang theory, for example, by George Lamartine. Now these people are explaining that, see, ये सब बना लिया आपने? Okay, let me just explain in some other page because I have to continue. So this is just an explanation, but where I would be continuing it. Okay, let me use some last wala points. So basically, we do have to make one thing clear that for us it is always humans. Okay, it is always humans. We are interested anything related to humans, to understand humans' journey on earth, to understand humans' journey on earth. We are understanding origin of life on earth. Origin of life on earth, we were trying to understand this. Now the first paragraph is telling that we do have basic understanding of astronomy, that how we have got the planets 4.6 billion years ago. Okay, so we are just trying to understand that part. Fine. So as I have told you that lot many scientists were trying to understand that, but Edwin Hubble has given two mind-blowing facts. And what was that? That this galaxy is expanding. Okay, and there are lot many Milky. Okay, wait, and then let's just say we have George Lamartine, Edwin Hubble, very famous name. नासा में हबल के नाम का स्पेस स्टेशन भी है. Okay, George Lamartine. So these people has given Big Bang. Yeah, Big Bang theory. ठीक है, ये बहुत बेसिक सा है, इसलिए मैं जल्दी लिख रही हूँ. Big Bang theory. तो इससे हमको समझ में आया कि एक छोटा सा टाइनी पार्टिकल था, वो एक्सप्लोड किया. Okay, and then we have got now sun and all other planets. So explosion हुआ, gases हुआ due to gravitational force and all this point. So this is again, you people have to just read it. Although I have explained in my orientation classes all this, right? But again, I am just explaining that you should know how all the planets have come into the existence. Okay, and we are only interested in which planet? On Earth. Okay, so this first paragraph is actually explaining you that only. Universe and the formation of life on Earth. Okay, on the Earth, we are interested on the Earth. बस क्योंकि यहीं पे इंसान मिल रहे हैं. अगर हमको मार्स में मिलेंगे तो हम वहां पे भी इंटरेस्टेड हो जाएंगे. Right? So the Earth is one of the planets that revolves around the sun. It is believed that the Earth was formed about 4,500 million years ago. According to one theory, it is thrown on into the sun's gravitational field by the explosion of a star called supernova. There was no life on Earth until half of its lifespan. About 300 million years ago, life appeared on Earth in the form of protoplasm, protozoa. So there was Azoic period when there was no life form. Geological time scale यहीं पे साइड में लिख लो. It's important. कई बारी क्वेश्चन आता था पहले for 10 markers. So when I would be explaining archaeological anthropology, I would be explaining geological time scale. We are interested in which period? Holocene period, because वहीं से life forms humans की start हुई है. But to understand Holocene period, we need to understand Azoic period, Proterozoic period, life form कैसे आया, pre-Carbonian, Carbonian, Jurassic. Okay, all this geological time scale we understand. प्लाइस्टोसीन, मायोसीन, ये सारे फेजेस है जियोलॉजिकल टाइम स्केल्स के. डोंट वरी, मैं इसको पूरा याद करा देती हूँ. सो देयर इज निमोनिक्स. पुट हनी ऑन माय प्लेट प्लीज हनी. ओके, ऐसे एक निमोनिक्स भी है, वो मैं याद करवा देती हूँ. जियोलॉजिकल टाइम स्केल अभी हम बस यहाँ पे समझ रहे हैं. ओके, हियर. So we are actually getting interested to understand when first life got presented on Earth. So this was a basic question to all the thinkers, to all the scientists. Okay. So then we know at the meeting place of water and land. So earlier, Earth condition was not at all suitable for having any life form. It was acidic in nature. So there were a lot of thunderstorms. Okay. So there was no oxygen. But then later years, it become a condition, पानी हो गया हर जगह and become suitable. Okay, वो भी हम बाद में पढ़ेंगे. But अभी, so it is believed that life originated from inorganic matters. तो ये क्या हो गया? Theory of spontaneous generation. It is believed that life is originated from inorganic matters. इसको लिखेंगे यहाँ पे, inorganic matters due to many physical chemical condition prevalent at the time of Earth's evolution. But we know that it is not at all there. अगर हम theory of spontaneous generation की बात करें, but O'Brien Haldane अभी जो theory मैंने लिखवाई है, it is only talking about that only. अभी मैंने जो लिखवाया है ना, O'Brien and Haldane, okay, वो यही आपको बता रहे हैं कि किस तरीके से chemical reactions हुए and then finally life have come up. So chemical reaction theory is important. Up we need to understand in a systematic manner about all those theories. There are several theories, lot many theories are there. Okay, so here earlier theories of evolution, जिसको मैंने बोला प्री डार्विनियन थ्योरी. चार्ल्स डार्विन थ्योरी से पहले जितनी थ्योरी आई उसको हम ये earlier theories of evolution बोल रहे हैं. So we do have theory of spontaneous origin, okay, divine creation, eternity, virus, cosmic origin, theory of catastrophism. And you people have to do little homework. What is this nonsense you people are not reading? According to Greek philosophers like Aristotle and those, life has originated repeatedly from inanimate materials of non-living things in spontaneous manner. Okay, because this is the basics. This is not our advanced class. Otherwise, when I would be explaining spontaneous generation theory, I would explain it in a very wider manner. But just आपको थोड़ा सा story समझ में आ जाए अभी I am going further. Okay, so spontaneous divine creation God has created, बस ये समझ लो. यहाँ पे divine में different religious textbook is telling that how God is created, but most of them is saying that God has created humans in or life forms in 6 days. Okay, eternity, it believes that some organisms were already parent from the very beginning of the universe. Those organisms still exist and will continue to live in future. It was always there. Virus, some scientists believe that virus was initially responsible for the emergence of the life. Okay, the virus hold a transitional stage between living and non-living. By nature, virus is non-living, but when it reaches into the body cell of the living, it behaves as living. Then cosmic origin. Richard developed this theory and was supported by Thomson and those on. This theory advocated that the first life seed had been transported through the cosmic particles से यहाँ पे आ गया. Okay, from other planets. Catastrophism. जॉर्ज क्यूवर्स का थोड़ा इंपॉर्टेंट है, वो मैं बाद में पढ़ाती भी हूँ. जॉर्ज क्यूवर proposed this theory is observation based was based on the fossil remains of varied organisms because इसमें थोड़ा सा इन्होंने evidences based research करा था. Okay, so according to him the earth had to face several natural calamities at different times during which many animal species have been destroyed, but each time when the earth settled after a great catastrophe, relatively higher forms of animal appeared to replace the situation. So according to him, a series of catastrophes were responsible behind changes where previous sets of living creatures got replaced by the new creature. Okay, now all these theories, we know that it is not correct. Okay, it is not scientific. So the earlier theories mentioned above were not accepted by scholars as they lacked scientific basis, but Cowher ने फिर भी एक scientific evidences दिया था. Now, what you people need to know here, okay, which I was trying to explain in the beginning. What was the slide number? What was slide number? 2, 3. Yeah. These theories are basically important for us, which you people should be writing, okay? See, we are understanding about human evolution in biological part. I am right now dealing with biological evolution, okay? So to understand this, we are basically understanding human evolution. So human evolution को मैंने क्या किया है, 3 phases में divide कर दिया है, right? So pre-Darwinian, because Darwin theory is very close, natural selections and all that. So there are some theorists which we need to have a lot of clarity. Okay, so we do have pre-Darwinian theory, theory of spontaneous, right? Lamarck theory. So Lamarck theory is little important. Theory of spontaneous generation, just to understand. But Lamarckism is very important. That is there also in your SERT. So Lamarckism, use and disuse and inheritance. तो यहाँ से जो component आगे जाया गया जो अभी भी है, that is inheritance. And this theory is also helping us to know about variations, because we are interested in knowing humans diversity. तो हम तो anthropology पढ़ रहे हैं ना, we are not reading any other thing. But to understand human diversity, we are dependent on the major theories on origin of life and evolution. Is this now clear? We are interested in knowing human diversity, but we cannot understand it until unless we are borrowing from the previous theories. ठीक है? So to understand variations, we do have Darwin का theory, that again I will explain. But Darwin की theory और एक और theory है, that is Gregor Mendelian. ठीक है? मेंडेलियन का काम जो है बाद में आके फेमस हुआ था. स्टार्टिंग में no one recognized it. उन्होंने पब्लिश तो किया, लेकिन फिर बाद में दूसरे साइंटिस्ट ने आके उनके काम को सच बताया, जिसको आज हम बोलते हैं that it is genes which are responsible for the variation, and he called it as factors when he conducted a experiment on pea plants. ठीक है, तो हमको कौन कौन सी थ्योरी समझ में आनी चाहिए? लमार्किज्म एंड मेंडेलियन थ्योरी, डार्विन थ्योरी, और डेफिनेटली केमिकल रिएक्शन वाली थ्योरी भी, ऑल्दो आता नहीं है, बट ऑपरेन थ्योरी. ठीक है, सो पोस्ट डार्विन थ्योरी, दैट इज मॉडर्न सिंथेटिक थ्योरी, दैट आई विल एक्सप्लेन. So we did have a biogenesis. काफी टाइम तक हमने यही एक्सेप्ट किया that life originated from non-living matter. समझ में आया this part? Abiogenesis मतलब non-living, abio. Then we got biogenesis. Biogenesis, again, whenever we accepted any theory, it has to be accepted on the basis of evidences. So spontaneous generation theory got rejected only when experiments got conducted and accepted. Okay, so we have got biogenesis theory, that is Francesco Redi, then Lazzaro Spallanzani, and then Louis Pasteur. Louis Pasteur की theory तो वैसे भी बायो में आप पढ़ते ही हो, पढ़ा है? But I would be explaining it. Okay, so Gregor Mendelian theory, Charles Darwin theory, Oppenheimer theory, and modern synthetic theory is something we are going to understand. Okay, now what UPSC is talking about, the term evolution was first applied by the English philosopher Herbert Spencer. Herbert Spencer right now is on the book somewhere only, is actually given also very famous term survival of the fittest, but Darwin get all the credit for this term, and social Darwinism. Okay, mean the historical development in life. So in this context, human biological evolution started with the origin of life. So this is actually, we accept the first successful formation of protoplasm initiated the life, and the continuous development proceeded towards complexity to give rise to different life forms of evolved time. ठीक है, the first successful formation of protoplasm. What is protoplasm? ऑर्गेनल्स. ठीक है, मतलब लेकिन ये लाइफ फॉर्म्स हैं. हाँ, व्हाट इज साइटोप्लाज्म? जेल लाइक स्ट्रक्चर और ऑर्गेनल सरफेस. ठीक है, तो दैट इज आई एम गोइंग टू टीच ऑल दैट. ओके, so the first successful formation of protoplasm, so it is again explained by, you can say, chemical reaction theory, Oppenheimer theory, कैसे कैसे आपका DNA बना, ये सब बना, it is there. Okay, so इसको समझने के लिए there are some major biological theories which is not mentioned here, but I would be explaining it in today's class so that you people have clarity from the beginning. Okay, but अभी थोड़ा सा इसको पढ़ लेते हैं, and then I will explain. So proceeded towards complexity to give rise to different life forms. In the theory of evolution, it is a universally accepted fact that there is a change in the form of organism from the past to the present, and also from the present to the future, and this is evolution. This transformation of animals and plants into new and different species resulted in the diversification of life forms. हमको diversity ही समझनी है. Okay, so evolution is a process that results in inheritable changes, which we have got it. Okay, for example, inheritable x, जब y दूसरा फॉर्म आएगा तो उसके पास x तो रहेगा, लेकिन इसके अंदर कुछ और भी चेंज आ जाएगा, जैसे ये लाइन. नेक्स्ट जनरेशन में ये तो रहेगा, लेकिन इसमें एक और लाइन आ जाएगी. तो इनहेरिटेंस, कुछ ट्रांसफर हो रहा है. ओके, समझ में आया ये वाला पॉइंट? इट इज अ प्रोसेस दैट रिजल्ट्स इन इनहेरिटेबल चेंजेस. ऐसा नहीं है कि यहाँ पे ये x था, दूसरा जनरेशन y बन जाएगा. inheritable changes. So I am for example, you should be very surprised to know about the role of mitochondria. Mother mitochondria matlab the DNA, the coding of my mother was there, or of her mother was also there in mitochondria. It's a mother to mother से ही आपके ऊपर जाता है ना. So mitochondria plays very significant role in understanding evolution. तो आपकी मदर की स्टोरी इज देयर इन द माइटोकॉन्ड्रिया, देन इट गोज, इसीलिए आपको माइटोकॉन्ड्रिया के ऊपर क्वेश्चन आता है. द रोल ऑफ माइटो इस बार ही आया है एक्चुअली, माइटोकॉन्ड्रिया एंड एवोल्यूशन 2025 में. ओके, सो ये पॉइंट लिख लो आप लोग, क्योंकि जब एडवांस में मैं पढ़ाऊंगी तो आई वुड बी वेरी लाइक यू नो एक्सप्लेनिंग इट. माइटोकॉन्ड्रिया, you want me to give you proper dictation on this? Okay, write down. Write down mitochondria. तो पहले आप खुद से लिखो जो मैंने अभी पॉइंट बताया है. माइटोकॉन्ड्रिया रोल इन एवोल्यूशन. ऑल्दो यूपीएससी ने नहीं पूछा था ऐसे, आई थिंक यूपीएससी ने क्वेश्चन या माइटोकॉन्ड्रिया एंड एवोल्यूशन पूछा था एक्चुअली. अब आप जल्दी से इसको लिखेंगे क्विकली बॉक्स बना के. माइटोकॉन्ड्रिया आर नॉट द ओनली पावर हाउस ऑफ द सेल. जल्दी से लिखेंगे बॉक्स में, बिकॉज यूपीएससी ने इस साल क्वेश्चन पूछा था. दैट्स व्हाई आई एम जस्ट रिपीटिंग and explaining you. Mitochondria are not only the in anthro में ही पूछा था, the powerhouse of the cell. They are the key evolutionary innovations. Online aspirants आप लोग सारे लिख रहे हो? Okay. That changed the history of life on Earth. Mitochondria originated from bacteria. They origin from bacteria. थोड़ा बहुत लिख लो. 2 billion years ago. Anaerobic cell से, ANAERO. Anaerobic का मतलब क्या होता है? Who will tell? You tell me. The cells that are not dependent on the oxygen. Anaerobic cell. ठीक है. So it's a archaea type. तो इसमें ऑक्सीजन का क्या रोल है? नो इम्पोर्टेंट रोल, क्योंकि ये अपने सर्वाइवल के लिए किस पे डिपेंडेंट नहीं है. हाँ, तो प्रिमिटिव एनाएरोबिक सेल लिख दो एक पॉइंट. आप कह सकते हो फ्री लिविंग एरोबिक बैक्टीरिया से आप ये बात कर सकते हो. प्रिमिटिव एनाएरोबिक सेल engulfed a free living aerobic bacteria. So about 2 million years ago, a primitive, लिख लो ये point. How it happened? मतलब मैं क्या एक्सप्लेन कर रही हूँ? माइटोकॉन्ड्रिया, हाँ, फ्रॉम बैक्टीरिया. ठीक है, तो ये लिख लो, बिकॉज वाई माइटोकॉन्ड्रिया में आपको प्रीलिम्स में भी क्वेश्चन आते हैं. तो हाउ इट हैपेंड पहले लिखो. अबाउट 2 billion years ago, a primitive एनएरोबिक, अभी आप एरोबिक एनाएरोबिक खुद से थोड़ा समझ लेना डिटेल में. एनाएरोबिक सेल दैट इज आर्काई टाइप engulfed a free living aerobic bacteria. दूसरा पॉइंट लिखो. इंस्टेड ऑफ बीइंग डाइजेस्टेड, instead of being digested, comma, that bacteria lived inside the host cell and became a symbiote. SYMBIONT, symbiote. ठीक है, अब फिर बैक्टीरिया चेंज हो गया, फिर दूसरा लिख दो, ओवर टाइम कॉमा द बैक्टीरिया इवॉल्व इनटू माइटोकॉन्ड्रिया प्रोवाइडिंग एनर्जी टू द होस्ट. वैसे ये बायो में इसको एंडो सिम्बायोटिक, वेरी गुड, एंडो सिम्बायोटिक थ्योरी बोलते हैं. वेरी गुड, इतना ही बायो याद होना है, ज्यादा नहीं करना. वैसे किसने प्रपोज करी थी ये थ्योरी? लिन मार्गुलिस. लिख लो ना. Although I do not think so prelims में ऐसे क्वेश्चन आएंगे that who proposed endosymbiotic theory, but they can ask you endosymbiotic theory is related, उसमें माइटोकॉन्ड्रिया एक ऑप्शन दे सकते हैं. ओके, नाउ व्हाट इज वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट फॉर अस, ये लिखो क्योंकि हमको एवोल्यूशन का समझना है ना. माइटोकॉन्ड्रिया हैव देयर ओन डीएनए. ओके, so they reproduce by binary fusion like bacteria only, और उनका डबल मेम्ब्रेन होता है, सेंसिटिव टू सर्टेन एंटीबायोटिक्स. तो माइटोकॉन्ड्रिया आर इवॉल्व्ड एंशिएंट बैक्टीरिया living inside eukaryotic cells. What is eukaryotic cells? There are two types of cells, prokaryotic and eukaryotic. So prokaryotic आप क्या कह सकते हो उनको? सिंपल ऑर्गेनिज्म कह सकते हो. प्रोकैरियोटिक तो उसमें कौन कौन से एग्जांपल्स है? बैक्टीरिया हो गया, ठीक है, एमोबिया हो गया, ये सारे प्रोकैरियोटिक. ऐसे समझ लो, प्रोकैरियोटिक सिंपल सेल्स. आप क्या हो? ह्यूमंस क्या है? यूकैरियोटिक. बहुत सारा कॉम्प्लेक्स मैकेनिज्म है. तो हम क्या कह सकते हैं? माइटोकॉन्ड्रिया आर इवॉल्व्ड एंशिएंट बैक्टीरिया, ओके, लिविंग इनसाइड यूकैरियोटिक सेल. ओके, तो अब आपको क्या समझना है? बिफोर माइटोकॉन्ड्रिया अर्ली लाइफ मेनली यूज एनोब्रिक रेस्पिरेशन, वेरी लो एनर्जी. माइटोकॉन्ड्रिया से क्या हुआ? एरोबिक रेस्पिरेशन. यू कैन से लिख दो छोटा छोटा पॉइंट. which produces 18 times ATP, right? High production. थोड़ा थोड़ा लिखना है. अब बस सिंपल एक पॉइंट लिखो, माइटोकॉन्ड्रिया हैव, जल्दी जल्दी लिखिए गाइस. माइटोकॉन्ड्रिया हैव देयर mitochondrial DNA which is inherited only from the mother. ठीक है, क्योंकि माइटोकॉन्ड्रिया के अपना खुद का डीएनए है, तो मैंने मेटरनल इनहेरिटेंस हो रहा है. इट हेल्प अस टू ट्रेस ह्यूमन एंसेस्ट्री. लिखो, माइग्रेशन पैटर्न समझ में आता है, और डेफिनेटली जेनेटिक एवोल्यूशन ऑफ पॉपुलेशन समझ में आता है. तो इसका मतलब जितने भी इंसान आज हैं, ऑल ह्यूमंस टुडे शेयर अ कॉमन मैटरनल एंसेस्ट्री हु लिव्ड अराउंड बहुत पहले इन अफ्रीका. ठीक है, यहाँ से होमोस का स्टार्ट हुआ. सो 150,000 to 200,000 years ago. Okay, is this now understanding? तो ये सारा एक्चुअली हमको थोड़ा सा मैंने यहाँ पे सिर्फ आपको एक्सप्लेन करने के लिए समझा दिया दैट यूपीएससी किस तरीके से आपको अगर क्वेश्चन पूछता भी है तो बायो में किस तरीके का क्वेश्चन आता है, ऐसे तरीके से, ठीक है। सो एनीवे, अभी ये समझ में आया इनहेरिटेबल चेंजेस, मतलब वो एक पॉपुलेशन से दूसरी पॉपुलेशन की तरफ जा रहा है. So to explain this inheritable changes, what I did, I explained mitochondria. Please write down in your notes, otherwise you'll get confused. Just to explain inheritance. तो यूपीएससी ने 2025 में क्वेश्चन पूछा था माइटोकॉन्ड्रिया एंड एवोल्यूशन. ओके, सो माइटोकॉन्ड्रिया एंड एवोल्यूशन पे अगर ये क्वेश्चन आया है तो इसका मतलब कि कुछ आपका वो जो समथिंग इज स्टिल वी आर कैरिंग. समझ में आया? सो दिस इज व्हाट यू हैव टू गो सो डीपर. बट आई होप निधि, यू पीपल आर अंडरस्टैंडिंग. निधि एंड प्रताप, समझ में आ रहा है? बोथ ऑफ यू. Okay, so it means that we are carrying inherited characteristics of our ancestors. Okay, इसी के हिसाब से बहुत सारे प्रिंसिपल्स भी हैं, लाइक लुइस डियोलो का प्रिंसिपल. देयर आर नॉट मेनी प्रिंसिपल्स. ओके, अच्छा, अब नाउ लेट्स टाइम नेक्स्ट पैराग्राफ पढ़ते हैं जल्दी से. सो फर्स्ट लिविंग existing was very minute and unicellular. प्रोकैरियोटिक समझ लिया आपने. ओके, यूकैरियोटिक समझ लिया. So as the time passed, most of the unicellular forms were transformed into multicellular. So unicellular is known as prokaryotic or simple cell. uni से समझ लो one, right? Then multicellular is eukaryotic cells. So along with this, the geo environment of the earth also underwent changes. फ्लूविएशन हो रहा है, ग्लेसिएशन हो रहा है, अर्थ भी चेंज हो रही है, उसका भी एनवायरमेंट चेंज हो रहा है. इट इज बोथ एनवायरमेंट एंड चेंजेस, बोथ आर हैपनिंग. Okay, so as a result, simple form of organism were transformed into very complex types of organisms. सन का रिएक्शन अलग हो रहा है, एनवायरमेंट चेंज हो रहा है, तो लाइफ फॉर्म्स जो पहले बन रही थी वो फिश से रेप्टाइल्स बन गई, रेप्टाइल से we become amphibians, amphibians say we have become small creatures, right? How we have become reptiles like mammals, then primates. So to understand this, we need to go back into the archaeology, into the past. Okay? So scholars agree that evolution was an important factor in origin of life forms. Why are we reading it? Evolution. Okay? Now, they have different theories in their mind. Now, Lamarckism. Now, before going Lamarckism, I want all of you to just write down the quick timeline. Because this will help you in your advance. Okay? So, it is not there in your SCERT. So, don't not get confused. Please. It is not there in your NCERT, but I am just giving you explanation on this. So that you people should be knowing. Okay? Write down a point. You can write like this. Timeline of major biological theories. Just a moment. What was the divine theory you people have written? Can you just explain me that so that I will just then continue on that? Yeah. But you people have, so I told you know that you people should have to write that. See in your notes you must have written. Hmm. Hmm. And
but it is done like this theory tells about it, how it is related to the diamond.
okay, all of you, both of you have written this. Then have you written George Cuvier theory also? Theory of biogenesis, genesis. That you have written? Please tell me. Then only I will get clarity now that which dictation I have to give. That मतलब इसका थोड़ा clarity है. Okay, so if I'll explain this, major theories of on origin of life will be clear because I think मैंने थोड़ा बहुत explain करा है. Although it is basics, okay, so do not get confused. So you people can just write down on there only that I am explaining actually that how from abigenesis to biogenesis have happened. So आप एक heading डाल दो timeline of major theories on origin of life and evolution. Okay? इससे आप लोगों को कभी confusion नहीं होगा. People can give heading. I am writing here timeline of major theories on origin of life and evolution. Okay. So there is one theory that is, write down, keep writing with me quickly, performation theory. This theory was there in 17th and early 18th century. Nicolas Mel Branche, there are lot many names. Marcelo Mal, पहले लिखा ये परफॉर्मेशन थ्योरी. राइट डाउन एडवोकेट्स कौन कौन से लोग थे? निकोलास मेल ब्रांचे, बहुत सारे थे. आई एम जस्ट गिविंग यू सम नेम्स. मेल ब्रांचे, एक जो काफी फेमस भी रहे हैं मार्सेलो मेलपिगी. ओके, चार्ल्स बॉनेट भी थे इसमें एक. Do check spelling also. I may have written wrong spelling, okay? But I think Charles Bonnet में double N है. डबल एन सिंगल टी ऐसे कुछ होगा. ओके, बस आइडिया लिखेंगे हम यहाँ पे. ओके, सो व्हाट वाज द आइडिया? राइट डाउन आइडिया. व्हाट वाज एन आइडिया? मैं सारे थ्योरीज का एक शॉर्ट आपको आंसर लिखवा रही हूँ सो दैट यू विल अंडरस्टैंड. ओके, इन एडवांस इजी रहेगा हमारे लिए. सो लिखोगे ऑर्गेनिजम्स वर परफॉर्म इन मिनिएचर इनसाइड zygote, egg or sperm, not zygote, inside sperm or egg. ये लिखो encasement. Organisms were performed in miniature inside sperm or egg. Encasement. So it was an early attempt to explain heredity. ओके, सो आइडिया वाज कि जितनी भी हमारी जो ऑर्गेनिज्म है वो हमारे स्पर्म्स में या एग्स में रहते हैं. इसको सिंपल आइडिया, बाद में इसको और डीपर पढ़ेंगे, ठीक है, बिकॉज वी आर इंटरेस्टेड इन अंडरस्टैंडिंग वेरिएशन, ह्यूमन डाइवर्सिटी. ओके, अब लिखेंगे दूसरा थ्योरी. इट केम बिटवीन मिड 18th सेंचुरी, 1740s टू 50s में आया था. मॉपर्टुइस, लुइस मॉपर्टुइस. स्पेलिंग जरूर चेक कर लीजिएगा मॉपर्टुइस की. QUIS होगा. ओके, हेरिडिटी एंड वेरिएशन. ओके, लिखेंगे यहाँ पे बोथ पेरेंट्स. व्हाट वाज एन आइडिया? इनका आइडिया क्या था? बोथ पेरेंट्स contribute and variation can lead to new species. दोनों पेरेंट्स कंट्रीब्यूट करते हैं, दोनों पेरेंट्स कंट्रीब्यूट करते हैं. ओके, और वेरिएशन कैन लीड टू न्यू स्पीशीज. What is the relevance of this particular information? इसका एक relevance है because it is the first to link heredity with evolutionary change. ये पहली थ्योरी है जिसने हेरिडिटी को एवोल्यूशनरी चेंज से रिलेट किया. ओके, ऑल एंड एस्पिरेंट्स. मतलब हम सिर्फ ये थ्योरीज बात कर रहे हैं कि किस तरीके से ये अलग अलग थ्योरी है. तो एक तो आपकी पहले परफॉर्मेशन थ्योरी है, फिर उसके बाद मॉपर्टुइस की थ्योरी है, ठीक है, ये फिर उसके बाद आपकी दूसरी थ्योरी. ये सारी प्री डार्विनियन थ्योरी है एक्चुअली. ओके, अब लिखेंगे कार्ल लीनियस या फिर लीनियस फिक्स. इट्स जस्ट फॉर यू टू अंडरस्टैंड. मैंने कुछ थ्योरीज का टाइमलाइन बनाया है. ओके, नाउ नेक्स्ट थ्योरी, लीनियस फिक्सिटी ऑफ स्पीशीज, कार्ल लीनियस की. Fixity of species, eternity. So immutable by divine creation. It was the idea. He just simply classified organisms. Okay. He classified organisms and initially believed in the eternity and fixity of species. Then he later admitted कि hybridization से changes हो सकता है. फिर उसके बाद एक थ्योरी लिखेंगे आप, कॉम्टे डी बफॉन. Comte de Buffon, theory of mutability of life. 1749 onward. Theory of mutability of life. Its idea was species can change over time due to environment and internal causes. Then Cover's idea, जॉर्ज क्यूविर, ये सारे अलग अलग थिंकर्स हैं. कैटास्ट्रोफिज्म. तो रिलेवेंस क्या है? आइडिया क्या था? कैटास्ट्रोफ्स periodically wiped out species. Catastrophes periodically wiped out species followed by new creation. तो यहाँ पे explained fossils but rejected evolution. तो fossils के explanation की वजह से ये important हो गया हमारे लिए. अब यहाँ पे हमारे पास 17th to 18th century, what we have got? We have got one paradigm that no, these theories are not actually explaining us correctly about life form. So biogenesis and abiogenesis का 17th to 19th century में clash हो रहा है. Okay, so Francesco Redi, Spallanzani and Louis Pasteur 1860s में. देखो biogenesis theory. Demonstrated that life arises from pre-existing life, disproving the spontaneous generation theory. ठीक है, समझ में आ रहा है? So people are just talking about all this point. You can see here. There are not many thinkers, but then we have got Lamarckism, जिसको मैंने भी explain करा. तो Lamarckism तो आप ऐसे ही लिख लो जल्दी से. अब आप लिखो डार्विन थ्योरी. Darwin theory of evolution 1859. Darwinism. Explained evolution by natural selection acting on variation. ठीक है. अच्छा अभी आप लिखो एक मिनट चार्ल्स डार्विन का थोड़ा सा फैक्ट्स. लेट मी जस्ट मेक यू राइट. अभी डार्विन ही लिखा है ना आप लोगों ने, ये तो हमने पहले मैंने कल डिस्कस करा है, तो आई एम नॉट आस्किंग यू टू राइट, बस आप लमार्क कर दो। चार्ल्स डार्विन में अगर आपको कंफ्यूजन ना हो इसलिए थोड़ा सा और पॉइंट ऐड कर दो। लमार्किज्म समझ में आना चाहिए आप लोगों को अब, ओके। आई विल एक्सप्लेन अगेन, बट डार्विनिज्म लिख लो 1809 टू 1882। ठीक है, अब डार्विन का भी हम फैक्ट्स बाद में लिख लेंगे इसमें से और देख के। अब लिखो आप मेंडेलियस, जॉर्ज मेंडल, जॉर्ज मेंडल। एटीन 1822 टू 1884 डिस्कवर्ड पर्टिकुलर इनहेरिटेंस। इन्होंने पूरा पर्टिकुलर इनहेरिटेंस की बात कर दी। पहले तो इनहेरिटेंस वगैरह लोग कह रहे, इन्होंने पी प्लांट लिया, उसमें 7 कैरेक्टरिस्टिक्स करा, ठीक है, हाइब्रिडाइजेशन यूज करते हुए F1 जनरेशन, फिर F2 जनरेशन, F2 जनरेशन में बहुत सारे 7 ट्रेट्स लिए उन्होंने, फिर उन्होंने दिखाया कि कैसे नेक्स्ट जनरेशन में दोनों कैरेक्टरिस्टिक्स है। तो यहां से हमारे पास फ्रॉम हियर वी हैव गॉट द कॉन्सेप्ट ऑफ dominant traits and recessive traits. Okay, so right now please write down George Mendel discovered particular inheritance through P experiments. P plant में उन्होंने experiments करा। So this theory or this entire law rediscovered in 1990s and that formed the basis of genetics. So I would be again explaining in a deep about Mendelian theory. This is even your part 9.2. Now we have got operant held in chemical origin of life. So operant held in chemical origin of life 1920s to 1929. Operant held in chemical origin of life 1920s to 1929. Okay, proposed life arose from prebiotic chemical evolution in a primordial soup. All an aspirant people are writing. Nidhi, I can see there was some fluctuation. Pratap, Rani, everyone, please tell me, are you all writing? Okay. So operant held in, they are telling about the chemical origin of life. हाँ, primordial soup. अब लिखेंगे why it is important, क्योंकि it is first scientific model for abiogenesis consistence with chemistry and evolution. First scientific model for abiogenesis consists with chemistry and evolution. Then Miller-Urey experiment, 1953. Accumulated early Earth atmosphere plus energy, produce amino acids. give strong experimental support to operant Hölderlin theory. Okay, so all this theory is basically explaining us human evolution. Just a moment. So here I just wanted to show you all this operant Hölderlin theory and all that. Just a moment, okay? So that you will be knowing all this point. अभी समझ में आ रहा है? कोई doubts है? So that I'll just explain this more. Anyone? No? Yes, online aspirants. Otherwise, I will just show you from PPT about this so that एक बारी आप लोगों को और पूरा clear हो जाए. Okay, I'm not finding that advanced wala PPT. Otherwise, I would have shown it. So let it be. I just wanted to show you the pictures. Okay, all the theories, so that आपको एक picture दिमाग में एक picture बन जाए. Maybe in the next class, I will just show you the picture, okay? Because here I cannot see my PPT here. Okay, so I will bring it in the next class. Otherwise, I will just try अगर आ जाए तो. Okay. Just to show you, right? Not to not have to confuse with advanced one, but just to show you all of you. This should give you correct understanding with respect to the points, okay, that how you will have to see. So Gregor Mendelian theory is now what is explaining us particular inheritance, that how actually we are getting some traits like father and some traits like mother, okay, but although even Mendelian theories are wrong. So you do have multiple, so the Mendelian के हिसाब से either it will be dominant or it will be recessive. But we do have, for example, ऐसे समझो white और pink उन्होंने बोला, either white होगा या pink होगा, okay, but then there can be also in between red, हाँ, so हाँ, red और white, red and white समझो, then it will be also pink, okay, तो ये हमको बाद में समझना है, राइट, बट अभी बेसिक्स में इतना डीप जाएंगे तो बहुत हम लोगों को काफी टाइम लग जाएगा बेसिक्स कवर अप करने के लिए, बट I just wanted to give a little pictures का clarification क्योंकि bio में and archaeology में there has to be lot of pictures. Okay, so you can see this is our advanced का theory. Okay, so we are interested in human evolution only. So I have just explained this. Okay, that there were some theories. So Aristotle का कौन सा theory था? Theory of spontaneous generation, na? Right? Then there were lot many theories. Medieval theories, that is biblical theories. Then we have got so scientific methods आया कैसे 19th-20th century में we have got understanding. Okay, then Herbert Spencer, how he has given the explanation. So this is what unicellular, multicellular organisms have come up. Evolution को अगर हम define करेंगे, right? So we are getting lot many theories to understand this. So we did have this mythological theories. Okay, so this is actually theory of spontaneous generation. थोड़ा deep में जाके हमको बाद में पढ़ना है. But again, UPSC is not asking questions, so I will not going to speak lot of classes here. That's why मैं basics में आप लोगों को थोड़ा और clear करा रही हूँ. Then this is a performation theory, heredity, mutability of life, catastrophism, right? So यहाँ से biogenesis आया, फ्रांसिस्को रेडी, स्पिनजानी ने क्या ऐसी थ्योरी बताया, then theory of chemical origin of life, okay, then origin of life. So this is the Miller-Urey experiment. There are also experiment that yes, it was chemical reactions. Okay, Stanley Miller and Harold Urey demonstrated that simple organic molecules could be synthesized from inorganic precursors under conditions similar to those of early Earth. Experiment क्लास अभी नहीं हो रही, सोशो की क्लास अभी 1 मिनट बाद में होगी. Okay, so this is what you need to understand here. Okay, then we have got this Lamarckism paradigm. Then I would be then again explaining Mendelian theory to all of you. So Leo Lamarckism is what? This is Charles Darwin theory. Anyway, we are not going that deeper right now. Okay, how many of you now got little understanding? So it was lot many, there were lot many theories to understand how humans have evolved. Okay, so we need to get clarity on these theories. So now what they have explained, they have picked Lamarckism. Why? Because they are talking about inheritance. तो हमको सिर्फ inheritance ही समझना है, variation समझना है, तो Lamarckism आ गया. Then Darwinism, Charles Robert Darwin. So Charles Robert Darwin again is explaining about natural selection. क्योंकि जो modern synthetic theory है जो आज हमको पढ़ना था, but just because some students have got doubt, so I thought कि मुझे एक क्लास और थोड़ा सा ले लेना चाहिए ताकि आप लोगों को थोड़ी स्टोरी क्रिएट हो जाए. Okay, so this is a Charles Darwin theory. जो modern synthetic theory है, it is mixture of lot many theories. Bagh Mendelian भी है, natural selection भी है, gene flow भी है. Okay, so which I would be talking. We are basically understanding variations. Okay, so tomorrow again I would be then explaining it. Okay, little bit. So new Darwinism, how variation exists. Hugo de Vries, Dutch botanists, what they are explaining. So synthetic theory of evolution actually we need to understand modern synthetic theory. So modern synthetic theory is again telling us that how actually life has variations, humans have variations. Is this now clear? Any doubts? Okay, if you people have any doubts, people can come tomorrow for clarification and then we'll start. Okay again. So अभी हम यहाँ से दोबारा start करेंगे. चलिए, thank you.